sort of a curfew or a lockdown, but we'll assess what the outlook is for the company with Mr. Sethi on the other side.
AGL has posted impressive results. Consolidated revenue for Q4 financial year 2021 increased by 68% year-on-year to Rs 434.1 crore. EBITDA improved by 100% to Rs 41.3 crore for Q4 FY21. PAT improved by 181% to Rs 20 crore in Q4. It's evident that company is heading towards zero debt. AGL achieved to become consistent dividend-paying company.
AGL, हर हिंदुस्तानी की पसंद.
India's GDP contracted by 7.3% last year, the worst in 40 years, and even the first quarter of the current year is a washout due to COVID-19. The RBI governor will definitely go all out to support growth, but what can he do? Can he push bond yields lower? Can he help badly hurt sectors like hospitality? Can he coax industrialists to take loans? Watch the RBI monetary policy live as the best experts analyze how it will impact your savings, your investments, and your business. The RBI monetary policy at these times on CNBC TV 18.
$75 lower on the Nifty. Welcome back. 15,498 is where we are at. Let's talk about a space which has of course been impacted front and center. I'm talking about the hospitality space, hotels. Sanjay Sethi is Managing Director and CEO of Chalet Hotels. He's joining us right now to take some questions. They reported numbers for the quarter, but I think, Q4 is what it is. The second wave really started in Q1 of F522. Mr. Sethi, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Prashant this side. Let me ask about, Q1 and what you've seen so far, sir. April, May, how have things been?
So, Prashant, good morning. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. As far as Q1 is concerned, we can only talk about limited information. And we have disclosed that the February occupancies were roughly around 36.5%, which is similar to March. But I do want to put in an addition to what you said. Mumbai was hit hard very early in the cycle, and we did see occupancies drop in the rest of the country too in March. So March did get affected by the second wave, and this is a little different than what you said in the opening statement. So March was impacted. And let me give you a quick sort of an update on Q4 because it's important to understand the dynamics. We saw very strong February, Jan and February, and especially the pace of bookings in Jan and Feb was very encouraging for the future months. And that gave us hope that we'll do extremely well in the coming months. So we did 37% occupancy in January, ramped up to 42%. We also had ADR growth during that period. And March was looking stronger than Feb till the second wave hit us. And so March went down. March went down to January occupancies of 37%. And affected the Q4 for us. You've got to keep in mind that we've had sequential growth quarter on quarter for 4 consecutive quarters. Chalet has been able to throw up 4 consecutive quarters of EBITDA positive numbers. And our revenue growth in sequential growth between Q3 and Q4 was 11%. And EBITDA, if we take out the two abnormal write-offs that we've taken, did also grow by 11%. At the same time, hospitality division actually grew by 16%, which was a healthy number to grow by in spite of the March performance. And the RevPAR, which is revenue per available room for the hotels, grew at actually 22%. Again, very sharp. And had March been better, we would have been able to throw much healthier Q4 results also. You're right. Q1 has got hit hard by the pandemic. And I'm afraid there's no crystal ball that we have. The industry is faced with multiple concurrent challenges. And, we as an industry have to stand up against them and weather the storm. Chalet on its own is well geared, given our balance sheet and the strength of the company. and the fact that we've got diversified assets within the company, which help us tide over some difficult times.
Right. So, I mean, I get the context, Mr. Sethi, but I know the information is limited and it's we're still in the quarter. But can you provide us with some numbers for April and May? I mean, relative to the previous quarter, or maybe the same time. I mean, actually, not the same time last year because I mean, back then it was fully locked down. But maybe Q on Q.
So Q on Q, I think what you should look at is that clearly the lockdown has affected all of Maharashtra. It has affected Karnataka and Telangana. This is where our hotels are. What helps us during this time is the steady inflow of rental income from our real estate assets, which is the office company, and that's doing, continues to perform well. I think what's hit us really hard is the F&B, because F&B has largely been shut down in every hotel in the country today. So F&B revenues have collapsed during this quarter. We do hope that in the next few weeks, F&B will open out at some point of time. And with that opening out, we'll see a quick ramp up on F&B. We've created very compelling F&B offerings. We believe that they will kick in as soon as the opening up happens, especially the pent-up demand on the wedding functions and the eating out side of the business. That combined with our cost management that we've been able to do over the years, over the months, has really helped us. And I think we'll just about scrape through for the quarter, but future quarters hold strong promise.
Mr. Sethi, morning. Rima here. Any numbers on the occupancy, though, for the month of April and May? And secondly, you spoke about the rental income from your real estate being the saving grace. Have any of your tenants asked for rental waivers?
No, Rima, good morning. Good to see you again. No one has asked for any rental waivers. So we continue to get the rent as we were getting in the pre-pandemic time. We did give some rent relief on the CAM side, that's common area maintenance, but that is primarily passing on the cost saving to our tenants. So we had cost saving, we passed that on. Besides that, there has been no rent waivers from any of our clients. The good thing about our assets are that there are two large assets and both of them have single tenants each. So it's not very complicated for us to handle that. And we are building a couple of more assets that would, again, give us some more play in the office rental space.
Okay, you're still not giving us the occupancy numbers, though, for April and May, so I'm going to just leave it there.
Rima, I did share April numbers with you a little earlier.
I missed that number
36.5%. Yeah, 36.5% occupancy.
Okay, sorry, I missed that number then. Right. All right, same time last year, your hotels were used as quarantine centers. Is it the same this time, and any revenues coming from that?
We were used as quarantine centers for travelers who were coming into the city, especially our airport hotels, which was the COVID, not the COVID positive guests, it was COVID negative guests. And we continue to have some of those in our JW Marriott at Sahar. We continue to have some of that in our Renaissance Hotel in Powai. But largely the occupancies are from other segments as of now. We've got, in the months of Jan, Feb, March, we had some uptick in business travel. And the interesting point was that we saw all segments pick up, and not only all segments, on the business travel itself. We saw several industries pick up pace. So just to give you a few, we saw pick up happening in industries like IT, pharma, manufacturing, entertainment, and even oil and gas. So all of these industries, we saw positive signs and pace of bookings, which has held us well. We are very confident that as soon as the lockdowns are removed, they'll be back. We continue to have long stay business of project-based business, which is corporate clients who have projects within those localities. And so we're doing well on that. We're doing fairly well on film shoots. We've also got seafarers groups staying at our hotels. And we had some IPL business stay with us till April, which was again a good business to have. But then unfortunately, early May, they moved out. So overall, I'm very confident that numbers will be back pretty sharply once things open up.
Let's hope so. Mr. Sethi, just a quick point. I mean, after lockdown 1 finished, there was a burst of consumption on everything, travel included, right? I mean, hotel stays, etc. I mean, everything boomed. But this time, it's would you agree it's a bit different? Because, I mean, the young have been disproportionately impacted. Okay, not disproportionately, but they have been impacted as well. Last time around, it was the old. Kids, for example, are in the mix too, which was, they were thought to be absolutely fine last year. Will this, this demand coming back at the same pace as what we saw last year really happen because of these two reasons? And all of this will, of course, depend on vaccinations, which is tracking at a pretty low rate. I mean, it should be much higher, but it's not right now. Maybe it'll pick up. Your thoughts?
So Prashant, you're right. It'll be different. And you're right. I was going to come to the point about vaccination. Whilst pace of vaccination is slower than we expected it to be, it has ramped up in the last few days. We do believe in the next month or so, there will be significant catch-up that will happen. And you're going to see also the profile of people who are getting vaccinated first. And they're typically the people who would typically be our clients. And from that perspective, with two jabs or a single jab on their arms, we do see business travel pick up pace quite strongly. On the children front, yes, there could be some concern there. And, this whole conversation about a third wave is something that has everyone concerned. But we do believe that by the time third wave hits, a significant percentage of the Indian population would be vaccinated. We don't have leisure hotels, so we don't see any difference in the ramp up as far as we are concerned on that front. All our hotels are business hotels, and the ramp up that we saw after phase 1 should continue. In fact, we should beat that ramp up.
Mr. Sethi, thank you very much. Great to have you with us here. Appreciate your time and good speaking with you. Thanks indeed.
Thank you, Prashant and Rima. Thank you.
Thanks indeed.